What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Hella Handmade Creations video. This month I have a small but mighty one for you all, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Starting off with Arcana Lacquer, this is Sealed Envelope. This is a dark periwinkle crelly base with orange to yellow shimmer. This is 13, capped at 120 bottles, and it's part of their new Cozy Gaming series. This is their first polish in HHC, so be sure to give them a congrats. Sealed Envelope has a kind of jelly-leaning crelly formula to it. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 light coats to maximize that base color. I do think, at least on my monitor, this is coming off decently color accurate. In person, it looks like what it looks like on my full hand shot here. It's like a blurple type of color. So some lighting situations that might have almost a navy lean, but in my opinion, it's right there on the fence between the colors. Art as Nails Finding Family is a medium-toned blue base with microflakes that appear pink, purple, green, and gold. This one's $13.50, capped at 100, and it's part of their Cornish Cove series. Finding Family has a jelly formula, but it is packed full of those beautiful little micro flakes going throughout here. I'm going to suggest 2 coats. It was perfect in opacity and plumpness, and that's all I needed. You'll want to finish with a glossy top coat, again, of course. No need for a glitter smoother or anything because, surprisingly enough, this didn't leave me super thirsty. Colores de Carol Grape Royal is a purple jelly with holographic glitter in various sizes and shapes and silver holographic micro flakes. This one's $13.50, capped at 120 bottles, and it's part of her Mocktails series. Polishes like this, these give like old school indie vibes with those big old chunky circle glitters. I tend to apply these pretty messy and I just go in ham. I overwork it purposely to make sure I don't have too much base on the nails. That way it's not lumpy and uneven. These are true jellies, so you'll want to make sure that you're going in even on each of your coats. So I would suggest overworking it the way I did to thin it out, and no issues getting those big glitters out of the bottle. Excellent suspension there. You'll need to finish with a glitter smoother and glossy top coat, and I will suggest only going up to 2 coats as it plumps up quick. Cracked Polish Romance is Dead is a deep maroon with pearlescent white and green shimmer. This is 13, capped at 350, and is part of her Down the Indie Rabbit Hole series. This is one of my top picks this month. This is so beautiful. I think it's going to translate perfect into the fall season in the next couple of months. I know I'm thinking ahead here, but this is just so vampy good. It is a very flattering type of deep red. I'm going to suggest 3 coats on this one just to kind of even out everything. It does lean a tiny bit on the jelly side in terms of buildup, but it plumps up like a cream. Really nice formula here. This will dry down flat, almost like a suede-like, so use a glossy top coat to, again, maximize that shimmer power. Hearts and Promises Strawberry Obsidian is a red-leaning pink holographic base with shimmer. This one's 13, capped at 200, and it's part of her Gemstones series. This is a true jelly type of formula. As you go up on your coats, it's going to dramatically change how intense that base color comes off. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats with a glossy top coat. If you have an incredibly prominent free edge or falsy edge, what have you, I'm going to suggest maybe a blurring base coat or a nude to you cream of some sort. That's just my little personal hack there. But you can do that and you will have it appear probably more like a cream on your nails like that, if that bugs you. Jen and Berry's Technical Difficulties is a pink tinted base with aqua blue purple shifting shimmer and holographic flakes. This one's $13.75, capped at $2.64, and it's part of her Great British Bake Off series. Technical Difficulties has an excellent creamy type of formula that has a harsh type of crelly dry down to it because it's so packed full of shimmer. I thought 2 coats was perfect. Go light on your brush strokes. Let the paddle brush do the work for you to prevent any potential streaking. This will dry down quite harsh and flat, so use a good glossy top coat. Night Owl Lacquer, I'll Pay Attention to Myself, is a light bright blue crelly filled with metallic bright blue flakes. This one is $12.40 with no cap, and it's part of her Bob's Burgers series. This is super fun. It's very glowy. I'm going to suggest 2 coats on it. I chose to go a touch heavy-handed on the second coat here because I felt like it was so plumping on the formula that a 3rd coat was going to be overkill. So I did 1 light and then 1 normal for me coat, and it was perfect. You may or may not want to use a glitter smoother with this. If your glossy top coat of choice is on the thinner side, you may want to do that because it's a touch thirsty. Pampered Polishes It's My Metal is a molten golden bronze holographic with a scattered holographic effect. This one is $13 with no cap, and it's part of her Wreck-It Ralph series. It's My Metal has a lighter type of jelly formula to it. I'm going to strongly suggest you go up to 3 coats with it to maximize that metallic type of appearance. It will dry down on the flat side, so again, good glossy top coat of choice, and you're good to go. Now I want to note on that 3rd coat there, you can see a touch of streaking. It's metallic in how it applies, so make sure you're going soft on your brush strokes. Paradox Polish brings us Glinda. This is a jelly pink base with reflective glitter, holographic glitters, and pink to green shimmer. This one's 13 with no cap, and it's part of her Wicked series. Glinda builds up very quickly to opacity. I'm going to suggest going up to 2 coats, a glitter smoother, and a glossy top coat. No need to go in super thin or anything like that. Formula was very nice, not too heavy or viscous, if you will, as we typically see on a lot of these reflective glitter finishes. You'll absolutely want to use a glitter smoother though. Patty Lopez has a duo for us again this month. This is after her famous Painters series. The first part of the duo is Desert Sunset. It's a brown base with red, golden, green Aurora shimmer. You can grab this individually for $13.50, capped at $100, or you can grab this and then the intended topper, I'll show you all in a minute, for $27 for the duo, capped at $100. Desert Sunset is a jelly finish. It's very light in how it builds up. I think if you have a super prominent free edge, disclaimer for a blurring base applies here. It does pair very well with its intended topper, which is right here, Elephants. This is a mix of iridescent and multichrome flakes with silver, red reflective glitters. I decided to do just 1 normal coat over those 3 thin coats for Desert Sunset, and you can see here it gives you this interesting scatter. The reflective glitters aren't so packed in here that it's going to make it incredibly gritty on the dry down. So I think a thicker glossy top coat is going to be perfectly fine to finish this off. Speaking of duos, Penelope Luz also brings us a duo. This is her Flower Symphony duo. The first part of it is Clematis. This is a purple to pink sparkle pigment with a blurple base. You can grab it individually for $13.50 each, capped at $200, or you can get the duo for $25.50, capped at $200. This has a standard type of formula to it. I'm going to suggest 2 coats. It built up very quickly in a very metallic microflake type of way. It dries down pretty flat on its own, and it has an almost duochrome-like effect with it. The next part of the duo is Crispy. This is a green to blue Aurora pigment with micro silver holographic glitters. Priced at $13, capped at $200 if you choose to purchase it solo. And as you can see here, it is one of those straight up Aurora shimmer toppers. The little silver holographic glitters here are very, very fine particle. It offers a very scattered type of twinkle. It will leave you on the very thirsty side, though not textured, so any top coat of choice will work. Sassy Sauce Hanky Panky is a baby pink base with red to orange shimmer and various sparkling reflective glitters. This one's $13.50, capped at $300, and it's part of her Shoes series. This is a very flattering type of baby pink. It's got a super curly, plumping base to it. I thought 2 coats worked perfectly for it, and it will leave you on the somewhat texture side, given that we've got some glitters going throughout it. So I'm going to suggest 2 normal coats, a glitter smoothing top coat, and a glossy top coat to kind of smooth everything out. Victorian Varnish Twinkle Aura is a deeper purple neon base with a red, orange, gold, large particle Aurora shimmer and flakies. This one's $13.50, capped at $160, and it's part of her Steampunk Unicorns series. Twinkle Aura is a true jelly formula in my opinion, and I'm going to suggest going up to 2 coats with it. It is quite plumping, so as you can see on the second coat, I went in a touch heavy-handed to kind of save myself a 3rd coat, but I overworked it purposely to thin it out. So I think applying it this way is going to be the best practice, and you may want to use a glitter smoother as this will leave you a touch textured. Victorian Varnish is also bringing a hand and cuticle cream. This is Lavish. You guys have heard me talk about this quite a bit. This month's scent is Rain Showers, and the scent notes to it are rainfalls, jasmine, zesty citrus, warm amber, and sweet vanilla. And to my nose, this is a really soft scent. I'm actually having to get pretty close to my fingers here to actually smell it on my hand. But overall, what's catching my nose the most is that jasmine. It's a very soft type of jasmine. And there's a bit of that warm type of vanilla going on in the background. If you appreciate softer scents, but also more leaning floral type, I think this is one that's going to be for you. This is an excellent handed cuticle cream. At the time that I was applying this for the video, I had just popped off my falsies. I have swatched so many polishes this past week, and you can see it just hydrated everything. It kind of plumped up my skin, almost like a refresher. You can grab this for $8.50, capped at 50 bottles. And we're going to wrap this up with a quick willet topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. Arcana's works pretty well over black, but remember, it's a very heavy type of formula. Art as Nails passes the test with flying colors. I think you can get pretty creative with it. Coloris is too dense. I don't know, it's too much. I would not recommend toppering this. The Cracked looks great over black, but I wouldn't recommend anything else. Hearts and Promises, I think, would look fantastic over an undie of matchy-match colors. The Gin and Berries looks amazing over darker colors. I think dark grays would work too. Night Owl also passes the test with flying colors. Pampered polishes, in my opinion, I just don't think you're doing it justice. Glinda works surprisingly well. I think you can also work with this one. Patti Lopez Desert Sunset, I'm on the fence about this. And remember, it's very, very tinted. Elephants is a topper, so of course it works. Clematis, maybe over black, but I can't see anything else working. Crispy, as you can see here, it just transforms the undie of choice, so of course it works. Hanky Panky does look cool over black. I will say that. Otherwise, I don't recommend it. And the Victorian Varnish is very jelly-like, so outside of a purple matchy-match undie, I can't see it working. You can head on over to Hella Handmade Creations right now. Pre-order is going to run from July 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time and will close on July 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian time. I will link you all below to HHC in addition to their Facebook group if you want to get in there and check that out. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.